Introduction. When I was a kid and during my teenage years, I was a very introverted person. I had very few friends and struggled to connect with others. Making new friends or even acquaintances felt nearly impossible for me. It wasn't until later that I became curious about social skills. I started reading books like How to Win Friends and Influence People and How to Talk to Anyone. I watched countless videos about improving social skills, hoping to learn the secrets to becoming more charming and likable. But guess what? It didn't work. No matter how much advice I tried to follow, I still struggled to connect with people. I couldn't understand why it wasn't helping. That was until I started studying psychology and focusing on human behavior. That's when I finally realized the truth. Everything society tells us about social skills is mostly superficial. Advice like make eye contact and always smile only scratches the surface. It doesn't get to the heart of what makes a person truly charismatic. What I learned is that charisma is much simpler than most people think, and it has nothing to do with gimmicks or tricks. It's about understanding three key elements: presence, warmth, and power. Let's dive into each of these and explore how they can help you become the kind of person others are naturally drawn to. Step 1. Presence. Make others feel powerful. Have you ever met someone who just has that thing? That energy that makes them stand out in a crowd? You might be surprised to learn that presence is the first and most important element of charisma. It's not about proving how strong or impressive you are. It's about making the other person feel like they matter. Here's a great example. In 1886, two candidates were running for a major election in the UK. When a journalist was asked about her thoughts on the two candidates, she said, "The first candidate makes me feel like he's the strongest person in the UK. The second one makes me feel like I am the strongest person in the UK." Guess what happened? The second candidate won the election because he made people feel empowered and special. What does this mean for you? When you're having a conversation, you don't need to talk about how great you are. Instead, focus on making the other person feel important. This is where presence comes in. Listen to them, really listen, and make them feel heard. That's the secret. Listen without interrupting. Ask questions to show genuine interest. Nod or make small verbal acknowledgments. I see. That's interesting. So when you talk to someone, resist the urge to think about what you'll say next. Instead, just focus on what they're saying. Too often, people stop listening and start thinking about how to sound interesting. But real connection happens when you listen deeply, and the person you're talking to will notice that. Step 2. Warmth. The power of kindness and compassion. The second element of charisma is warmth, and it's all about making people feel comfortable with you. It's about showing kindness, compassion, and care. But here's the key. Being kind doesn't mean agreeing with everything someone says or trying to please them just to get them to like you. That kind of nice is fake, and people can sense it. What you need is genuine warmth. The reality is, most of our communication happens non-verbally. Around 93% of how we communicate comes from body language, tone of voice, and emotions, while only about 7% comes from words. This means that when you talk to someone, they can often feel your true emotions, whether you like it or not. Let's say you're having a conversation with someone, but deep down, you're annoyed or distracted. Even if you don't say anything, that feeling will show through your body language, and the other person will notice it. So, how can you show warmth? It starts with how you feel about the person you're talking to. For example, let's say you meet someone for the first time. If you feel genuinely positive about them, this warmth will shine through in your actions. You'll be more open and welcoming. But if you're skeptical or judgmental, that negativity will leak out, and the other person will feel it. Use open body language. Keep your posture relaxed and open. Avoid crossing your arms or looking away while someone is talking. Use gentle eye contact to show that you're engaged. Another important aspect of warmth is giving, not just giving material things, but offering advice, support, or even a listening ear when needed. However, there's a trick to this. You should offer your advice and help, but don't force it on anyone. For instance, if a friend says they're looking for an apartment and you know a great website for rentals, share it. But don't follow them around, constantly reminding them to check it out. Give your help, and then let them decide what to do with it. And when it comes to honesty, that's key. If you don't like something, say it. If your friend shows you a new hat and you don't think it suits them, it's okay to be honest and tell them. Just remember to be kind about it and always offer constructive feedback. By being honest but respectful, you'll create an atmosphere of trust. Step 3. Power, the inner confidence to lead. Finally, we come to power, the third and final element of charisma. Now, when I talk about power, I don't mean trying to dominate conversations or act like you're better than others. True power comes from confidence and knowing your own worth. It's about standing firm in your beliefs and principles without needing approval from others. A key part of this is knowing when to say no. If someone pressures you into doing something you don't want to do, whether it's drinking, going somewhere, or anything else, it's important to stand your ground. Let's say you're at a party and someone offers you a drink, but you don't drink alcohol. Simply say, "No thanks," and leave it at that. You don't need to justify yourself, and you don't need to please anyone else. That's where your power lies. Set boundaries confidently. Be clear and assertive when communicating your boundaries. Practice saying no in low-stakes situations to build your confidence. Stand firm without feeling the need to apologize or explain excessively. Another important aspect of power is having strong body language. The way you carry yourself can have a huge impact on how people perceive you. When you sit, stand, or move with confidence, others will take notice. It's not about being stiff or trying to impress others, but about being comfortable in your own skin. When you feel good about yourself, that energy will naturally radiate outward. Stand tall and take up space. Stand with your shoulders back and head held high. Avoid slouching or shrinking in your posture. Own your space and don't be afraid to stand out when necessary. Step 4. Self-awareness. Know your strengths and weaknesses. Charismatic people are incredibly self-aware. They know their strengths and weaknesses, and they don't shy away from either. Self-awareness is crucial because it helps you act with intention and avoid coming across as insecure or disingenuous. When you're self-aware, you can identify areas where you need to improve and actively work on them. You also know what you're good at, so you can lean into those strengths in conversations and interactions. Self-awareness doesn't mean being perfect. It's about being honest with yourself and others. Reflect on your actions. Take time to reflect on how you interact with others. Be open to feedback from trusted friends or mentors. Regularly assess your behavior to see if it aligns with your values. By regularly reflecting on your actions, you'll gain greater insight into how others perceive you and be able to adjust accordingly. Step 5. Authenticity. Be true to yourself. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, authenticity is the key to lasting charisma. People can sense when you're being fake, and it's one of the fastest ways to turn them off. When you're authentic, you show up as your true self without pretending to be someone you're not. And that's magnetic. Being authentic doesn't mean saying everything that comes to your mind or sharing all your emotions right away. It means being honest and real without trying to put on a mask. People are drawn to authenticity because it makes them feel safe. When you're authentic, they can relax, knowing they're interacting with the real you. Embrace vulnerability. Share your thoughts and feelings honestly, without fear of judgment. Be willing to show your imperfections. Let go of the need for approval from others. When you embrace vulnerability and show the real you, people will connect with you on a much deeper level. Conclusion. Putting it all together. How charisma transforms your life. So, now you know the 5 key elements of charisma: presence, warmth, power, self-awareness, and authenticity. But how do they come together in real life? Let's say you're at a party or a gathering. If you walk in with confidence, greet people with a warm smile, and really listen when others speak, you'll immediately become someone people want to be around. You don't have to act like someone you're not, or try to impress anyone. Just be yourself, and let these elements of charisma shine through. People will be drawn to your authenticity, and you'll naturally form stronger connections. Practice in everyday situations. Start small by practicing presence, warmth, power, self-awareness, and authenticity in casual interactions, like with store clerks, colleagues, or family members. Over time, these behaviors will become second nature, and you'll notice a shift in how others respond to you. In the end, having charisma isn't just about making people like you. It's about creating deeper, more meaningful relationships, feeling good about yourself, and succeeding in whatever you set out to do. By mastering these 5 elements, you'll not only become more likable, but also more powerful in how you navigate your personal and professional life. By practicing presence, warmth, power, self-awareness, and authenticity, you'll unlock the secret to becoming the kind of person others are naturally attracted to. But remember, it all starts with being genuine and comfortable in your own skin. Charisma isn't something you fake, it's something you grow from the inside out.